Cliff, tell me where you're from because you spoke before Mr. Trump came out. Where are you from and what organization do you run?
I live in Lowell, Massachusetts. I graduated from high school in Long Beach, R.A. Milliken. I'm the chairman of the Lowell Republican City Committee.
What makes you come out here and speak for Donald Trump and support him?
Because I want to support all the Republican candidates, and therefore I think it's incumbent upon me to encourage Republicans and unenrolleds to come out, learn, and then go vote on the 1st of March. But I like a lot of what I hear Mr. Trump say.
Are you sold on him? Are you going to vote for him?
I haven't committed yet. I got, 2 months to go.
So who's it between for you? Who's the candidates that you've narrowed it down to?
Well, I really like Scott Walker, but he's gone. So I like Trump. I like Ben Carson. I like Cruz.
So here tonight during Donald Trump's, it was about 53-minute speech. Did you hear any specific policy proposals, or you enjoyed more his general speech?
I heard specifics. Some
like what?
Some I didn't. Well, I think his idea that we need to figure out what's going on with immigrants is correct. Refugees are a big problem, and the various nations failed to fund refugees last year like they should, and that just makes it worse. I mean, you got 1 million in Turkey, you got hundreds of thousands in Jordan and Syria. We need to fix this problem. And
why are Syrian refugees specifically a problem to the United States?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're really asking there.
You said refugees are a problem. Why are they a problem for the United States?
Because we have humanitarian responsibilities. There are problems for all of the people in the West because we have humanitarian responsibilities. On the other hand, refugees are from places where people need to be working to bring democracy and to bring a better situation for everybody. So a refugee that leaves Syria is one more person who is not there fighting to make that country what it should be.
But Donald Trump, in the last debate, has said we need to stop trying to topple dictators in other countries in the Middle East and trying to be the world's police. He was talking about nation building in America. You're talking about helping spread democracy.
No, I'm talking about people in their places standing firm. And I think that's important. Should we provide them help? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with providing them help. But yes, I agree. I think with Mr. Trump, I think we made a mistake taking down Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. Where has that led us? And the Iraq situation, I think that when we went in, we failed to do the proper job, and as a result, we alienated the Sunnis, and I think that was not good.
You're in charge of the Republican Party in Lowell, that's correct?
I'm the chairman.
So in 2012, Mitt Romney obviously lost, and he was criticized for being a flip-flopper. Donald Trump specifically has reversed his positions on quite a few things: Social Security, gun control, taxes, you name it. Is his positions, do you believe his positions, considering at first he said we need to accept Syrian refugees, now he says we don't. At first he said we need to bomb ISIS. In the last debate he says we need to stop getting involved with the Middle East. Do you think he's trustworthy?
I think he's trustworthy, but he is a politician, and he's also someone who's learning. He's on a steep learning curve right now. Picking up on issues of foreign affairs, issues of national security strategy.
So you
adjust his positions.
So you excuse him, being for one thing and against against it maybe a few weeks later based on being a novice?
No, based upon the fact that he's learning. National security is this thing where most people are novices. Most politicians are novices. So I don't think that...
But do you want the person who's in charge of the nuclear codes and has his hand on the button learning?
You did hear where he said he would be the least likely to press the button.
Well, actually, somebody here said bomb Iran, and he said that was a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think that... I think he was reacting to the crowd. Remember, he said he had been against going into Iraq the second time.
In terms,
of course, he's pretty upset about the deal with Iran. It was interesting. He blamed Massachusetts for Senator Kerry, but when Kerry ran for the House of Representatives here in Lowell, he lost.
do you think, in general, in terms of Republican politics, obviously you lost the demographic battle last go around, Latinos, younger people, African Americans. Do you think Mr. Trump's statements on Latinos, Muslims are going to help get more minority voters out for Republicans?
I thought that was interesting when they did the poll about Mr. Trump and the Syrian refugees and the fact that we needed to have Congress examine it and fix it, that you had, I think it was like 72% of blacks agreed, 67% of Latinos agreed. So I think that what may be happening is that we're having a breakup of what has been a Democrat Party monopoly on minorities. And I think that's a good thing.
But about 90% of Latinos, he has a unfavorability with about 90% of Latinos. How do you explain that?
I think we'll see that that'll change as it goes along. Plus, I'm not always impressed with polling. There was an article in the Washington Post a couple of days ago. Did you see it? Three statistics. The first one had a big ball with a bunch of numbers on it. And it was an article about how we don't understand immigration, that Mexicans are actually net going back to Mexico and have been for a couple of years. And ended the article there without talking about all the other Hispanics who are coming into the United States across the southern border. I mean, we need to be getting the facts out. Trump, I think, is trying to get the facts out. As facts come out, things will be better.
Final question. You've spoken about Mr. Trump, kind of saying things that need to be said, that kind of thing. Do you think calling Mexicans, for example, drug lords, rapists, how he's talked about Muslims, do you think that this is a little unbecoming of someone who's running for president, or you like his talk?
I'm a more laid-back person. I sort of like Ben Carson's style. But the fact is, you've got a lot of drug lords in Mexico. Who was that guy that just escaped or was allowed to escape? Chapa down in Mexico? Allowed to escape. I've seen an article saying he was allowed to escape because it was the only way the Mexican government could regain control in some areas. I mean, that's not a very good situation. And Mr. Trump, who tends to talk with a big hand and a little bit of glitter and generality, but he's making the point that there are things going on that we need to be paying attention to. Don't you agree?
I agree that he's saying things that haven't been said before, but I also think he's painting a huge brush on few and adding to propaganda against these minorities.
I don't think that talking about problems in Mexico is talking about minorities. What is that, 172 million?
Well, when you say...
Those are Mexicans.
When you say the majority...
Citizens.
When you say the majority of immigrants coming in from Mexico are drug lords and rapists, you don't think that's painting a broad brush?
I'm not sure that's exactly what he said. Can we go back and look at the tape?
Yeah, that is what he said in his opening speech. He said they're sending rapists, they're sending murderers, they're sending drug lords.
Okay, if he's saying that there are in fact those kinds of people coming across the border, then he's right. But saying that everyone coming across the border is not true, and I'm not sure that he means to say that. And for people to suggest that that's what he's trying to say may be unfair to him.
So, do you think if one more question, I know your wife is trying to get you. Do you think that if it's such a big problem that we have these undocumented immigrants that are coming over causing problems, I would suspect you think it's as big of a problem, the epidemics of mass shootings in the country, where assault rifles are being used?
Let's talk about immigrants. You realize the big problem up here is Irish. You're not Irish, are you? Okay, don't want to offend you. He's not Irish, is he?
No, but what I'm asking you is this. If immigration is such a problem with the undocumented immigrants, do you think the epidemic of gun violence in America is such a huge problem, since that also has a huge number of incidents?
Isn't it going down?
The mass shootings?
Yeah. And are you including San Bernardino as a mass shooting, or are you going to treat it like the that it is?
Well, I think if you shoot 14 people, whether it's a white guy shooting 14 people or 2 Muslim people, it is terrorism.
Wait, hold it a second. What kind of racial prejudice is that?
No. What I'm right, but those were Muslims. Those were Muslim Americans.
That's a religious issue, not a race issue.
What I'm asking you is, do you think it's the same issue if you have a 20-year-old white male shooting up 20 school children in Newtown with San Bernardino shooting up 14 people? Is that the same issue of terrorism?
No, I don't think the guy in Newtown is a terrorist. I don't think he's reacting to the Daesh people and what they're pushing, or Al-Qaeda. I think we're talking mental illness.
It's only terrorism when Muslims shoot up Americans, is what you're saying.
No, that's exactly not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that terrorism is a tactic that is used by some groups, and that these people affiliated themselves with a group that is using terrorism as a way of achieving their political ends. I mean, you do realize that Daesh is using terror to achieve its political ends. I mean, it's not cutting people's heads off for the fun of it, is it?
Right, but
what about all those Yahtzees, and what about all the women who've been sold into slavery?
Right, but what about all the innocent Americans being shot up and killed here, and politicians like Donald Trump don't want to do anything about it? We're talking about death, right? We're worried about people getting killed, correct?
You know, like driving cars and getting killed.
So why is it selective worry in terms of undocumented immigrants and Arab terrorists, but not the domestic shooters?
So you think we should screen all domestic people to see if they're shooters?
I think you should have much tougher gun laws. I don't think normal citizens like you. I don't think normal citizens like you need AR-15s or assault rifles.
Are you saying the California gun laws are related to the San Bernardino shooting? That would have made a difference?
They allowed those type of rifles, yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Excuse me?
Rifles were brought in from outside. The California gun laws.
Right, but what I'm saying is you have guns that could be bought in other states and brought over to every state, like California. So it really doesn't matter the state law. Federal law is what matters. I think that the federal law needs to be changed, where average citizens don't have bazooka guns.
So you're saying that we need to change the laws so that the criminals won't do what they're doing now.
Correct.
Okay, so when I went to Robert A. Millikan High School in Long Beach, I used to take my .22 rifle to school because I was on the shooting team. Are you saying I shouldn't have been allowed to have my .22 rifle and shouldn't have been allowed to take it to school and go down to Poly where the range was to practice?
I don't think you need an AR-15 that can shoot out 50 rounds without reloading at a hunting range. No, I don't. Thanks for talking to us.